Hi, Shotsy here. Again, Andrew Shaw. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Going to sort of be doing a copy of a very, very famous painting, but with a twist. The painting is actually by someone named Edvard Munch, called The Scream. He actually did several of these paintings, and they are very, very famous. And if you want to buy one, they're lots and lots of money. So I'm going to sort of do my best to try and imitate it, but again, with a little twist to maybe add a little bit of humor, but also to explore his unique painting style. That was one of the things that I think made his painting so famous, was this sort of very loose, flowing kind of style. He does these sort of long strokes, very curvy, bright colors. And this painting is exactly like that. So you can see I'm just trying to block things in, stay very loose, very rough. I've already introduced a couple of colors. There's the burnt umber, and I've added some orange to that, and maybe even some burnt sienna, which is really an orange-brown. And of course, there's also some blue that you could probably detect. So just again, trying to lay out basic structure, get an idea of where things go, how they fit together. Like all my paintings, I try to move around a lot, not stay in any one place for very long. So I think it's very important to move around. First, it helps you see how everything relates. So much of getting a painting accurate is noticing the relationships between various parts. And the more that I can move around, it helps me see those relationships. And you could see a second ago that I was using the negative space of the background water, some kind of bridge, the character, the figure, using the negative space to help shape the head. I'm just trying to get that perspective on the dock and the railing next to the dock, looking at overall values of light and dark, and trying to be aware of the flow of his strokes. They're very loose. They don't necessarily make realistic sense, but at the same time, they add to the drama. It's one of the reasons that I think his paintings were so famous and respected was because of his unique style. There's no effort at all in his style, at least in this painting, to make it look realistic. It's very cartoony. I think that's by design. And you can see there's sort of that space, kind of a bit of a yellow space in his upper chest, starting to put some form to it. And my assistant and I sort of thought we could do some classic paintings but add a silly twist. And we sort of thought about, ice cream for ice cream. And so we're doing the character, the figure, with the scream, with one of his hands on the side of his head, kind of like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. But the other hand is holding an ice cream cone. Of course, Munch did not have an ice cream cone in his famous painting. We thought we can do this to give us a sense of what the painting looks like and how to construct it while at the same time having some fun with it. Really starting to pay more attention to the values. I've been very, very orange and blue and brown. I'm trying to bring a little bit of yellow into it. And for those of you who know Munch, as I said before, he did several of these paintings, and they were all very similar, but he experimented a bit with color to see the impact of using different colors. So you can see that sort of the distant sky. It's almost a bit Van Gogh-like. And then there's the water, and it's, I think, like a water wave. It's hard to define. It's more about the overall flow that really matters. So you make a little bit more orange, a little bit more yellow. And at times having hard edges between the colors, and at times having soft edges, usually within the color and within the figure. I'm sort of working on his face, trying to give some structure. He kind of had an odd looking face. You can see one of his hands holding the side of his head. Well, the other hand is holding this melting ice cream. And we were sort of joking amongst ourselves, kind of thinking that, he's screaming because he said, I ordered chocolate. He got his vanilla ice cream instead. Although I don't think that was probably Munch's original inspiration for this painting. But you might notice that I'm, except in certain spots, doing longer paint strokes than I typically do. I think that's sort of in keeping of the flowing nature of this painting and Munch's style. And using negative space to get the shape of his hand, the shape of his head, an odd shape. And there's a couple of mysterious figures there in the back. I'm just defining them a little bit, kind of walking back there, very diffuse. You notice his body is not proportional. He's got these funny, skinny feet. That was not the goal. The goal was to capture the emotion of the scream. Some of us have ordered things at a restaurant or whatever, and they brought the wrong food, and we feel like screaming. Well, this guy's screaming because of his ice cream cone. They're moving the eyes, just trying to get it as accurate as I can, but not feeling the need to make it identical. It's really to capture the essence, the feeling. See, my brush is quite a bit smaller now, just to get in some of these details. And of course, my strokes tend to be shorter with a smaller brush. Those figures in the background, and then just sort of look for spots around the painting where I think it could be sharpened up a bit. Okay, that's about it for this painting. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to be having a series of these types of paintings, taking very famous paintings and making slight modifications to them to try to add some humor, but at the same time demonstrate as best we can how some of these paintings were made. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.